Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Between Plays. So basically, we said we're going to be watching Drones Delivery of Canada, and that's what we're going to do. Drones Delivery Canada goes under the ticker symbol of FLT.V under the TSX Venture Exchange, the Toronto Stock Exchange Venture. So FLT.V, and then on the over the counter, you're looking at TAKOF. So FLT seems almost like it's going to say flight, and on the over the counter, TAKOF. Sounds a little bit like takeoff, so it makes sense. Drones, flight, takeoff. So look, before we start, just like to take 2 seconds of your time, please, and just scroll down and click on that subscribe button. This has these researches take a lot of time. I try to go in depth. I look at industry. I look at a lot of different things, and in order for me to be able to continue doing this and requests from people, it's just extremely important for me to get as many subscribes, because I see that the views are through the roof. I got a lot of views. It's incredible. I'm in the thousands. It's actually quite remarkable how much views, of course, and it seems I have a lot of people that keep on coming back, but we're just not hitting the subscribe button. So please hit the subscribe button, because it just allows me to continue to do all these videos, and at the same time, I can take requests, and when something pops up that someone has requested, you'll know about it right away. All right, so this video comes requested by John Antle. Okay, this is his handle name, John Antle. Maybe it's his name, but it's probably his handle name. I don't know. But John Antle. Okay, so John, here's Drones Delivery Canada. All right, yeah. So also, it's got a group on Facebook. So Drone Delivery of Canada Shareholders Group on Facebook. So if you naturally are a shareholder or will be a shareholder, that's something to go look at. All right, so let's get into this. All right, guys. The research that I've done is it was a lot of hours put in. We can say a good solid 12 hours. I started yesterday at 5 o'clock, right after I finished eating supper. And my wife was like, I'll take the kids to bed, I'll do everything, go ahead, do your research. And I went to bed, I think, at 4:30 in the morning, woke up at 6 to help to get the kids to school, and right away came back down and continued researching. So yeah, it's pretty intense. And I just decided to put up the video now. So a lot of work, and what I found is something we need. Let's look at the macroeconomics first before we look at the company itself. The drone industry has been around now for a while, all right? And there's been a lot of restrictions, because if people recall, I mean, drones, when they first came out, they were just toys, right? I mean, like, you buy a toy for your kid or something like that, and then they became toys for adults. And then you had the cameras put on them, and they started going really, really high, and you can get around. And then you had YouTube videos or Facebook videos of like these over the heads, like, aerial spatial. And then we got a lot of problems that came up with this. And some of those problems were that some people were taking advantage and spying on people, or they were going too high and they were near airports and stuff like that, and then it became a hazard for the aviation industry. So there was like a lot of regulations, put in place, and like cracked down, and that really hurt the future of the drone industry, which this was before that major industry was even concocted, because this is like the beginning stages. So that all being said, then we got watching movies, and we have like the military using drones and how efficient it is. Then we have drones in movies, inside movies themselves, where drones are chasing people and everything. So, and you can't get away from them. Drones were even featured in, long time movies like Terminator, if you really think about it. I mean, you have the aerial drones that are searching for people. Those are there's nobody in that ship, right? Same thing in the Matrix. So drones and the concept of drones have been around for a very long time. Naturally, we're evolving because we're trying to get rid of ICE type vehicles, right? Internal combustion engines. And we're moving towards the EV, so electric vehicles. And we're looking at lithium nickel for batteries. And naturally, with drones, if you have a battery that's too heavy, you know, your capacity of carrying things is not as good. But that being said, in the industry, we're looking at a shortage of pilots when it comes to aviation and stuff. So, you know, you're looking at the planes themselves doesn't amount to much of cargo being delivered when it's like overseas and stuff like that. It's very little. And you're looking at ships and containers, and it just takes longer for it to get there. But with the advent of things like Amazon and like 1 day, 2 day shipping, well, you know, you can't double the time of a shipping container. The airplane is where you need to go. So there are some big drones out there that can carry, you know, containers now, large containers, and drones are definitely in the future. It's definitely an industry that's here to stay, and you know, looking at this COVID situation, I think that it's like that button that you push every 100 years and there's changes. I mean, before World War One, there was no vehicles, horse, buggy. You're looking at steam engines, and then all of a sudden after World War One, here comes combustible engines and stuff like that. World War Two, you got like televisions, and you know there's always out of these nasty situations. It seems like things come out, and I think that this COVID is that button that's just starting, new changes. And, the tactile world is very interesting. I was watching Valuetainment and Patrick, amazing. Like, I follow him. I just love all his stuff. Very, very interesting. I was watching something. They had Danielle DiMartino booth on there, Danielle DiMartino. And she was saying how, like, the world of tactile is, like, basically, like, it's over. Like, these types of things, and you can see it. Like, you just have to use, like, the visual concept, sociological concept, social psychology in there. And when you look at that kind of stuff, it's not hard to see. We're trying to stop people from touching each other's hands. We're, distancing the whole 9 yards. But what's coming with that? Well, the cashiers are not really working. Like, I'm going to, like, places where there should be cashiers working, like at least 2, but there's none. And it's just like all the checkout centers. And places where there was no checkout centers, there is now. All right? Like, there are places that were none, and now there's like 10. All right? And there's no one working at the cashier booths. They're just waiting for a roll call in order to make sure that everything's working well at these cash out centers. How about medicine? Telemedicine. Huge. What a difference. Good for everybody. Good. Like, this is amazing for, again, not being stuck around all the, people that are sick and the logistics of it. There's a lot that goes into that. And this industry, this is the time for this industry as well. Definitely. So let's just look at the industry in the CAGR, all right? So compounded annual growth rate. The compounded annual growth rate for the drone industry is big, all right? You're looking at, when I'm looking at the drone market size forecast for 2020 to 2025 from Drone Industry Insights, drone.com for Drone Industry Insights. You're looking at 2020 to 2025, a compound annual growth rate around 13.8%, approximately 14%. All right, you're looking at in revenue in the U.S. dollars. You're looking at 22 to 43 billion. All right, let's go to a different one here. All right, I'm going to do a few of them here. So from 2023 to 2030, the industry in US dollars is, according to this one here, attractive opportunities in drone package delivery market, a compounded annual growth rate of 44.7%. This is huge until 2030. You're looking at 27.4 billion US dollars just as alone, okay? And let's just make sure that, it's the same, some of the reasons why. And of course, the carbon reduction emissions, gone. Increasing adoption of drone package delivery from economies such as China and Japan is also expected to lead to market growth. Absolutely. What else do we got over here? I had one previously. Yeah, so North America is going to have a massive shift, and we'll talk about that now. So the restrictions, because it leads into the industry, the restrictions that we had for the FAA and for Transport Canada were basically like shut down. All right. As of this year, 2020, a lot of those restrictions have been taken off. That says a lot. We're starting the beginning of opening up the market. So naturally, there's things in place, but I mean, you need to get a drone to a rural area. Things where like drones can go over highways or drones can go over. It can now. All right, it's certain areas. No problem. All right, you need to get that. And for the medical industry, it's huge. This is huge. This could save people's lives. This can get prescription out to people. This has its place. Whoever thinks that this doesn't have its place, they're wrong. It has its place. There's a lot of places that you just can't get to. Now, definitely you need the coverage, but the coverage is there. The coverage is there, or it's going to be there extremely soon. I mean, look at things like Starlink. The world is going to be interconnected. I mean, in the near future, in the next 10 years, it's going to be very hard to find a place. I mean, probably in the Alps or something, somewhere very remote that you might not catch something. But there are companies out there that exists with satellite phones that can make your phone actually work as a phone and communicate digitally. So, why wouldn't it have a satellite receiver in the end? Listen, there's so many different things that can be going on. So we got like Europe, also massive growth here, and Asia is like the biggest. Asia is like through the roof. So that's very important as well. Now let's go to, let's see this one over here. What is this one going to give me? In 2018 alone, North America, it was looking to drone market size and forecast. 2018, 14.1 billion according to this. 2024, 43.1 billion. I can go to a whole bunch of these. This one might be interesting. Oh no, these are just a company. No, this one's so. You can go to a whole bunch of these, and this one I liked actually also. This is for medical drone market. So just the medical drone market alone, you're looking at by 2025, you're looking at greater than $400 million. Okay, so almost $500,000. All right, dollars by 2025. This is just the medical drone market. All right, and this is like a very. This is not of the planet. This is U.S. industry, right? So Germany, U.S. industry share 2018. So the U.S. industry share in 2018 was 29%. Germany market generated around 13.5 million in the year 2018. Get that. That's crazy. And for blood transfer sectors, you're looking at a compounded annual growth rate until 2025 of 24%. EMS, emergency medical systems, you're looking at a segment of 25%. Let's take a look at. Let's take a look at this one here. We got look at the different types of markets: aerial imaging, cargo, medical. Look, they're using drones to look for mining opportunities too, right? You got to take that into consideration. So usage by drones, and when was this one here? I don't have a date on this one, but you got usage by drone in industry structures: mining, telecommunications, insurance, media, security, transport, agriculture, and infrastructure. And let's go here before we move on to the company itself. No, this is a long time ago. So you see, we're looking at stuff in 2010 in this sector. So, okay, let's move off of this, all right? And let's go into cargo drones. So, cargo drones. So, this is a fairly new article. It's June 30th of 2020. And Canada proposes to allow low-risk BVLOS operations for large drones. Transport Canada has issued a proposal that would allow very large drones, such as cargo drones, to fly beyond the remote pilot's visual line of sight when traveling in remote areas. The proposal takes a risk-based approach to flying beyond visual line of sight without a special permission. In addition to following the International Strategic Operation Risk Assessments protocols, Transport Canada plans to implement additional measures to ensure safety. Now, we're looking at it opening up. This is Transport Canada is opening up. And it says in the proposal, Transport Canada recognizes that the drone industry is impatient to regularize BVLS flight, that's beyond line of sight, necessary for drone delivery, agriculture, and major infrastructure applications, as we were saying before on the other one, as part of TC's Transport Canada's regular review initiative ongoing since 2019. So you see, fairly new. So the market is not old, the market's in its infancy, but compared to where FAA and Transport Canada is, they're really it's like as if you're holding the baby for the first time. That's where FAA and Transport Canada is, but the baby's been in the womb already now for 9 months. So in this case, we'll say 9 years, 10 years, all right? So now it's time, all right? It's time. FAA and Transport Canada have to do something. They have to get on board because they see that this is a new industry and it's jobs. Whether people understand this or not, tactile jobs are going to be gone, and these types of jobs are going to be available. So more robotics, more engineers, civil engineers, mechanical engineers, electronic engineers. You're going to need pilots for these things that are going to be remote. They're going to be sitting down like this, and they're going to be like, okay, let's get this package. Look at Amazon. Amazon is directly involved in this. They've been holding back. People are like, well, they've been holding back. Yeah, it's because there's so much regulations that it's just insane. They have to get rid of something like this. But it's happening. It's happening. And get to the company very soon. All right. So listen to this. August 31st of 2020. Amazon, which I was just saying, wins. This is a very important word. Why would they use the word win? Think about it. Because it wasn't something that was easy to get, because it was going through measures or something like that. So the word wins is key here. So Amazon wins FAA approval for prime air drone delivery fleet. Okay, so this is from Amazon. All right, so the approval will give Amazon broad privileges to safely and efficiently deliver packages to customers. Amazon joins UPS and Alphabet-owned Wing, who previously won FAA approval for their drone delivery applications. So if you read this article itself, it goes on to say that that the other companies have won these approvals. Now, once companies win an approval, it's pretty much jurisprudence, all right? You can't just say you yes and you no. It doesn't work that way. So, a company like Drone Delivery Canada can just make sure that they're in line with those 3 companies that win the FAA approval, and then just go, well, and it should be no problem. If there's a problem, lawsuit, open it up. Why are we no and they're yes. So it just wouldn't happen, right? Once it's done, it's done. And why do you think it became easier for the other ones? Like here, because there's already previous winners, and that's just going to continue growing, and that's great for Drones Delivery of Canada. I went to different places, and there's drone careers now. There's a lot of jobs. There's people that are looking for people in careers. So that's also very, very good. I went to their YouTube site, their channel. I listened to the at Michael Zara, CEO, speaking about it. I watched some of their drones flying. I watched the whole nine yards, the packaging. They were featured on places like CBC, Small Cap Power, Drone Delivery Canada, CBC, and on other places. I believe, I don't want to say any names, but there was a few other really big. So let's just make sure. Let me just see here. So Drone Delivery of Canada. I want to just go here, and we got them on. What is this one here? Got them on Bloomberg Technology. We have them on. Let me just make sure. I had a few others here. This one was a year ago. No, that's City News Toronto. There you go. Breakfast Television Toronto. Echelon Wealth Partners. So that's very good here too, because Echelon Wealth Partners is I've researched them, and if they put money into something, there's going to be a good amount of money put in there. So very, very interesting. Now, drone delivery. So drone delivery today, at this very moment, that's my Twitter page. So let's go over here, FLT. So it's at 67 cents. Previous close was at 67 cents. Their high today was 68 and their low was 66. So they're stable. So not much there. But I'm going to get into something that's very, very, very interesting. So what I got over here, when I go to the Fintel, I have some institutional investors here. I got QCSTRX stock account class 1 that has shares. On here, investors, we got TIF Investment and IVES, ETFMG. And then we go over here. Naturally, we're on their website, and they show like all their drones and what they're capable of doing. They also show how far they can go. So naturally, some of them are limited in range, some are greater in range. But when you start getting into like the cargo drones, those are massive and huge. And I think that this is going to be a great sector to be in as well. So let's go to the company a little bit, and let's just take a look at that. So, all right, so it rebooted because I was on. Oh, there you go. So this is on the Simply Wall Street. We got Drones Delivery of Canada, last updated 2020, 10/15 at 1 in the morning. And we got a market cap of $129 million. So we got 4 analysts. So it says that it's trading at 90.1% below its fair market value. That's just crazy. Revenues forecast to grow 65.8% per year. They are debt free, and they have a good balance sheet. So that's good. So it says here that has less than 1 year of cash runway. So this is where you want to be careful a little bit, because the cash runway is very important. But naturally, they're going to get on that. I mean, they have strong financials in every other regard. So we have here that, are they in a good financial position? It says that it's got 1 has less than 1 year cash runway, so not good there. It's got to fail on that. Is their share price liquid and stable? Well, naturally, you can do that in almost any industry, and it's just any company is not going to be stable, especially in the last year. Let's go. Is their dividend sustainable? They don't have dividend. Do they have sufficient financial data? Yes. Are any concerns? We had no concerning events detected recently. So, return versus the industry. FLT exceeded the Canadian aerospace and defense industry, which returned a negative 36.3% over the past year. So the aerospace and defense industry returned negative 36%. So price volatility versus the market. The industry is very high. FLT is low, according to this. Now the valuation. Drone Delivery Canada is undervalued compared to its fair value and its price relative to the market. It's undervalued greater than 50%. What we're saying here is that right now the current price is of 67 cents. Make you guys take a look at this. All right. So current price here is 67 cents. All right. It's in the green zone. And let's move this over here. Got so many things on my desk from doing this research and trying to get this video out. And what we have over here is $6.76. That is correct. The fair value of this stock should be $6.76, approximately $7. This is huge, all right? Huge. The stock is 67 cents. I mean, I think that the fact that it has less than 1 year cash runway is scaring people off. But imagine someone that's got a lot of money, that's got maybe 2 other stocks, that are not, they don't have to worry so much about or something like that. And all of a sudden you take like a chunk load of money and you stick it in here. I mean, you already know the fair value of this should be 676. With an industry of a compounded growth rate of like 44, whatever percentage, like massive percentage growth rate. So, from the research that I've done, I mean, you're looking at eventually an industry that's in the trillions of dollars in an industry. All right, so sorry, getting people asking me to do more research, more companies. So, anyways, this is something to be excited about. Look, naturally, any company like I don't want to give names. There's some companies that I could have got in at 31 cents, but they were like speculative at this point, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna wait till like there's money and that there's something bigger happening, stuff like that, and I did, and I got in at like, let's say 138 or something like that. Okay, so it's $1 higher, $1 something higher than what I could have got in, and I could have bought a crap load of shares, but sometimes like it's just better to say, well, I'll wait till, I don't want to lose money. I don't want to take that chance. And, but if you have money that you can afford to lose, well, you can put that amount there and you can watch that grow. Now, with the company at 31 cents, did I do that? Yeah, I did. I took a portion of money that I could afford to lose and I put it there. And that's exactly what I did. And depending on a person's income, that could be anything. That could be a $200, that could be $1,000, that could be $5,000, and that could be $50,000. And depending what's the institution or the person that owns a company, and it could be $100,000, whatever. The point is, it could be $100 for someone, just like it could be like $50,000 for someone else. Right. So that being said, I am definitely going to be taking a portion of what I could afford to lose, and I'm going to put it in here. Why? Because at this price of 67 cents, and you're looking at a company that has no debt, it's got no debt. You're looking at an industry is going to grow. Forecast annual revenue growth for this company, according to the analysts, is 65.8%. I didn't even tell you about their trailing 12 month. So every other year, 2016, 17, 18, 19, zero revenue. They have, in their trailing 12 month, they have revenue now. Why? Probably because of the industry. Probably because of God knows, they probably couldn't get it off the ground before because of everybody blocking them, or the fact of coronavirus locking everything down that says, okay, now people are going towards them. But you know what? Once you start using something, it's hard to get out of it. You start using it and say, oh my God, I see the value in this. And I actually see the value in this too. And I really do believe that they have their place and this is going to be a huge industry. Revenue versus the market. So green FLT's revenue, 65.8% per year is forecast to grow faster than the Canadian market of 5.6% per year. High growth value FLT's revenue is 65.8% per year is forecast to grow faster than 20% per year. Now, there's a lot of other things about past earnings growth. Okay, not good. So if you look at past earnings growth analysis, you're looking at negative 43.7%, all right? But in the last 1 year, earnings growth is now at 11.1%. It's positive. I don't know if you can see that, but I'll show you. So just check this out. Company, negative 40 versus industry and market, all right? This is the past 5 years. The past year, it's 11.1% versus an industry of a negative 1.8 and market at 1.9. That's really good for the company. So, am I worried about the cash and stuff like that? Listen, I'm sure that the investors will come. I'm sure that there'll be money. Anyways, like I said, I'm going to be putting in what I can afford to lose. Financial health of the company. 4 out of 6 checks. This is amazing. It is amazing because when you look at a lot of companies, they have 3, they have 4. It's very rare you're going to have 6. I've seen a few. They're in other videos. So financial position analysis. Look at this. Assets. Short-term liabilities. FLT's short-term assets, 7.6 million exceeds its short-term liabilities of 1.3 million. Long-term liabilities. So FLT's short-term assets exceeds its long-term liabilities of 308K. They have, like I said, no debt. This is incredible. Balance sheet. Look at this. Look at the balance sheet. Cash and short-term investments, $7 million. So we already established that's less than 1 year, all right? Sorry about that, guys. And then we have the physical assets of 3.9 million. And, of course, equity of 10.7 million here. Look, accounts payable, everything's green. Other liabilities is green. Everything's green. Everything's green. Now, insider buying, all right? Let's look at insider buying over here. Look at this. The last 6 to 9 months, all right, we have insider buying over here in the last 6 to 9 months. And the buyer is Robert Montemarano. And Robert Montemarano, do I have him in here somewhere? Member of the board of directors. Okay, I'm gonna say something there. So, top 17 shareholders own 21% of the company, 21.25. FMR LLC, Paul Di Benetto, Greg Colaciti, Teachers Insurance and Annuity Association of America, College Retirement Equities Fund, CI Investments Inc., Irwin Professional Corporation, CIBC Asset Management, Robert Montemarano, Stone Asset Management Limited, Picton Mahoney Asset Management, NFS Capital, Michael Zara, was a CEO, if I remember, yeah, that's it, Chief Executive Officer, and President and Director. Then there's Michael Della Fortuna, member of the Board of Directors, Independent Director, Mark Kest Asset Management, Kevin Sherkin, LLB Investment, Manish Arora. So, institutions is 14.3%. That's more than some other companies in the telehealth industry at the moment, which is a huge market. And private companies is 0.3, individual insiders 6.6, and general public 78%. Look, there's, okay, you know what? Let's see if I can get you that one thing before we go. So let's look at the financials, and then we'll be done, because this is going to say it all right here. Do you guys? I know you guys can't see the numbers, but just trust me on this when I read you the numbers here. 2016, total revenue was 0. 2017, 0. 2018, 0. 2019, 0. Trailing 12 month, 26,545,000. When you look at the FAA, when you look at Transport Canada, when you look at all these opening up the market, when you look at Amazon, you look at these other big companies involved, when you look at the fact that there's jurisprudence already now, that they can just go and utilize, they don't need to fight, they just need to be in line. That's it. And then you shouldn't have any problem. When you're looking at the drones, when you look at the capabilities, when you're looking at the future, when you're looking at the compounded annual growth rate, when you're looking at all of this stuff, sure, they have less than 1 year cash runway, but they have revenue now. So they just need to make sure that they have that revenue, right? So as I stated, I definitely will be putting in an amount, and look at the media too on this. So I'll definitely be putting down an amount that I can afford to lose. And you should do your research, and you should invest wisely as well. That's my play on drones delivery of Canada, and that's the industry. The industry is basically here, and it looks like to me that COVID was the button that is opening a lot of brand new industries that have been around for a long time, just festering and building, and this was the button. So guys, don't forget to hit the like, but the subscribe button. Like I said, I really need to have more subscribers in order for me to continue doing this. It takes a lot of time, and naturally, the time that I'm spending doing this, I gotta like make sure that wifey totally understands that there's an end goal to all this. So look, please hit the subscribe button. You guys are awesome. We hit 200 subscribers, and that's great. So happy. And of course, naturally, every single time I see even one, like some guy wrote +1. I wish I had his name right now. You know, here, let me see if I can find his name. Let's just go look at that. Where is this guy? He actually made me laugh. Yeah, fresh out of boat, replied +1. I went right away, and it was a new subscriber, and I was like, oh, that's cool. So please just take 2 seconds of your time, hit the subscribe button, and remember, do your research, invest wisely. It is a stock market. We're not gambling. For Drones Delivery Canada, the only thing that is my little ick is the fact that they have a less than 1 year cash runway, but everything else is absolutely beautiful, and I will be investing an amount that I could afford to lose. So have a great evening, have a great day, and Betweenplays, your stock research entertainment channel. So that's it. All right. Okay. So have a good day, guys.